Hello friends, you are watching the Seated Scribe and I am Rudrashish Datta. Today we will be looking at a pen from the house of Sheaffers. The pen is Sheaffer 100. This is a pen which has been serving as a workhorse the world over for the past 12 to 15 years in the mid-ranged priced bracket. And since this pen usually come in only fine and medium nib versions, clearly Sheaffer wants this pen to be used as an ordinary daily use workhorse. The pen that I have for review today is a medium nibbed, gold trimmed, shiny black lacquered pen, which apparently has the right weight, the right balance, and takes the right boxes, as I can find it straight out of the box. So without any further delay, let us flip the camera and look at the pen in detail. Well, typically Sheaffer pens come in boxes like these. So they have placed the pen here, and as is usually the case, beneath this velvet bed we have a couple of cartridges which I will not be using for today's review, and a maintenance cum warranty information. So let me keep it aside and look at the pen. Sheaffer 100 series of pens usually come in a lot of variations in finishes, from matte black to shiny resins, and this particular pen that I have opted for is a shiny black version with gold trims. Now, as is usually the case with Sheaffer pens, their clips are denoted by that characteristic white dot with an indentation here. It's a fairly stiff clip. I am not sure whether it is spring loaded, but it's fairly stiff. This end of the finial is flat, it tapers slightly, is flat, and the metal band in the cap has the inscription of Sheaffers on it. The other end of the finial is again tapered and flat, giving it a very nice balanced aesthetic look. Now this is a pen that is post clipped, in other words it's not a threaded pen. So this is a very attractive looking gold plated metallic gripping section that has a flare at this end. It tapers outwards only very slightly, then there is a slight step up of around half a millimeter or so, and then the barrel begins with again a slight taper to the other end. So it's aesthetically very pleasing. Now if you look at the nib is carrying the typical inscribed decorations of Sheaffer steel nibs. This is gold plated. The feed is plastic. The feed is plastic. This is a medium nib that I have opted for, and these Sheaffer 100 series of pens usually come in two nib variations, the fine and the medium. Let me open this section they usually provide they have provided a proprietary converter which I'll be using to ink up this pen for the writing sample. So all in all, this is a very attractive looking pen, but though, as I've already said in my earlier reviews, pens which are very shiny metal in the gripping section, they usually trouble people in prolonged writing sessions if they have slippery fingers. So other than that, this pen fits all the right boxes. It has a very comfortable weight. I'll take a weight to check how far the pen fares. This is a dry weight. A comfortable 21 grams, plus minus 1 or 2 grams to be added in case ink is put in. I guess this cartridge will hold 0.8 to 1 milliliter of ink, so roughly maybe a gram more. Okay, so this is the pen. I'll be inking this up with Lamy and see how the pen fares. Well, I have filled this pen with black ink from Lamy, and I'll test this pen for the writing sample on a 100 GSM sheet to see how it fares. The pen writes wet. There is a definite drag at the point where the nib meets the paper, especially when the writing tends to be a bit faster in effort. The ink is Lamy black. This is a wet writer. This is without doubt a wet writer. Yes, the downstrokes, upstrokes and the slant strokes are all wet. So far as width variations are concerned, no, there are no variations whatsoever in width, even though I am writing with a fair amount of pressure. In fact, steel nibs of Sheaffer typically do not yield to that flexing tendency as we find in some other nibs. So this will not provide a calligraphy like experience under any circumstances. So all in all, this is a wet writer. It's pleasant to hold. The pen is pleasant to hold, write and control. It has just the right balance even with the cap posted. Yes, the pen does not feel like it's been thrown backwards. The cap posts very securely, and though I don't prefer writing posted. So all in all, this is a pen that ticks the right boxes. As usual, most of the pens of medium nibs of Sheaffer, they write wet and may not actually be usable in ordinary 65 GSM sheets, for the simple reason that the ink bleeds through the paper. But this is a 100 GSM sheet, so I am not seeing any bleed through at the other end of the paper. So this is it. The use of the pen will depend significantly on the type of paper that a writer prefers to use, but judged in itself, this pen is a very good writer. It's a workhorse type pen from Sheaffer, and it ticks more or less the right boxes. There is a definite amount of drag which one feels when one tries and push the pen for some speedy writing, but otherwise this is a pen which is comfortable to hold, use and write. So this is all that I have time for this week. I'll be back with another pen and another review next week. Till then, stay safe and goodbye.